Hello everybody and welcome to Written in Blood. My name is John and today I'm going to be doing the stay-at-home book tag. I first saw this one on Brad Proctor's channel and I watched it and I liked it and I thought, hey, this is something I would like to do. So that being said, let's go ahead and get underway. This is probably my 6th or 7th time trying to get this video recorded. Every time something has gone wrong. So yeah, hopefully this will be the charm, so to speak. So the first prompt is laying in bed, book you could or have read in a day. For that one, I'm choosing Sarah Grand's Come Closer. And I read this in pretty much under 2 hours. Well, about 2 hours. And it's about a woman, it's told from a first-person point of view. It's about a woman who may or may not be demonically possessed. It's creepy, it's eerie, it gets under your skin like nothing I've ever read. So yeah, I highly recommend it. As Come Closer by Sarah Grand. All right. And I'm gonna drop my books off onto the side here. So if you hear a thud, don't worry, I'm not hurting them. Next one, Snacking, Guilty Pleasure book. I'm gonna say as far as a guilty pleasure book, because I don't know if I really read anything that's considered guilty pleasure. I don't read James Patterson. I don't read Dan Brown. To me, those are guilty pleasure books. I certainly don't read 50 Shades of Grey because I would probably giggle throughout the whole thing and probably get thrown out of the library or bookstore or wherever, if they're open, so to speak. Or, you know what I mean. So for guilty pleasure, I'm going to go with Richard Lehman. Because the guy can be really out there and he can be just a little bit too descriptive in his in his writing, especially when it comes to disturbing sexual things. So yeah, he can be a little bit disturbing, but still I do enjoy reading the guy's books, even though I don't feel like I should enjoy his books. So yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. Okay. Netflix series you want to start. As far as book series is concerned, I can't think of any book series that I want to start. I do need to finish a book series, and that's the Bell Witch series by Sarah Clancy. She does have a new book coming out. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. I'm about 3 or 4 books into the series. So yeah, I definitely do want to finish it. So yeah. Animal Crossing, book you recently bought because of hype. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. I'm sorry. Here we go. Deep Clean, a book that's been on my TBR for ages. That's the next prompt. We'll get to the other one in a minute. This one has been on my shelf a longest time, so you can definitely consider this being on my TBR the longest. But I change my TBRs like every month. I don't really carry books over. If I didn't get a book read the particular month before, I usually do a whole new series, a set of books, and then I'll come around again eventually. But this one's been on there a long time. Sympathy for the Devil. It's edited by Tim Pratt. It's, of course, stories about the devil. Stories by Stephen King, Charles DeLint, Kelly Link, among many others. But yeah, it's been on my TBR, my shelf, whatever you want to call it, for a long time. Okay. Saying long time like that, it's like, if you got paid by the word or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm babbling. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Animal Crossing, book you recently bought because of hype. It wasn't really because of hype, but I heard Chapter Kate talking about this book on her channel, and I love the fact that she seemed very enthusiastic about it, thought highly of it. So if you want to call that hype, we're going to call it hype. And I'm talking about Snow Glass Apples. And this is by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Colleen Doran. And it's a retelling of the Snow White story. It's creepy. It's beautifully illustrated. And of course, the prose in it is by Neil Gaiman, so you can't go wrong with that. But yes, Snow Glass Apples. All right, that's my hype book. Okay. Productivity, book you learned from or that had an impact on you. I didn't learn from this. It did have an impact on me, and it was an impact of anger and being highly disturbed. In fact, I was disturbed by this the same way I was disturbed by Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita. And I'm talking about Uncle Vampire by Cynthia D. Grant. And it's about these two sisters that they're about 16 years old, maybe a little younger. I think one of them's 16. And their uncle is coming into the room at night. And you know what I mean by that. And what they do is, because of the way they cope with this, and I think this is what angered me the most, was that they create the story or the illusion or whatever that he's a vampire coming into the room. You know, like, why else would he be coming into the room except to suck their blood? And I think that's what angered me the most about this. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Here we go. FaceTime, and this is the last prompt concerning books. Well, actually not the last, next to the last. FaceTime, a book you were gifted. I was sent this book by the author, Ashton McCauley, in exchange for an honest review. Now, you can probably sit there and go, well, that's not being gifted. But to me, when he goes out of his way and actually signed the book, he didn't have to do that. But he signed it for me. I didn't ask for it, so I consider that to be a gift. If you're into stories about the Yeti, stories about mountain climbing, things like that, then I highly recommend this book, because I think it's really something that you would truly enjoy. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. So yeah, that's my gifted book, Whiteout. All right. Self-care. What is one thing you have done recently to look after yourself? Stayed at home as much as I can. When I do work, I work. I'm not around anybody. I am 100% alone. Nobody at all, okay? So I don't have to worry about that. If I go to the store, I obey the 6-foot rule. I try to stay away from people as much as possible, do the whole social distancing thing. As far as being at home or anywhere, when it comes to having to wash my hands, I wash my hands vigorously. One thing I do, and this is a doctor actually taught me this when I worked at the hospital as a security guard. He said that one way to ensure that you get your hands washed is the ABC rule. So when you get the soap and the water on your hands and you rub it in your hands, say your ABCs. That way you will more than likely assure that you have washed your hands thoroughly and properly. So yeah, you learn something new every day. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing to take care of myself. I mean, my hands are so clean, I can make a meal off of these suckers. You could eat off of my hands, you know. So yeah, anyway. Bonus, this is my last one. Name a book coming out soon. Like I said, Sarah Clancy has a new book coming out in her Bell Witch series. I am sorry, I cannot remember the name of it. I knew that Stephen King has a book coming out called If It Bleeds. I'm really looking forward to that one, because it's a book of novellas, and I have thoroughly enjoyed all of his books that have just the novellas in them. They've been excellent. So yeah, as far as anybody else, I can't think of anybody else that has anything else coming out. I think Silver Shamrock Publishing does have a book coming out. It's a short story collection. I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, those books that I did name, I know they're coming out, and I'm looking forward to reading them. So yeah, and that is it. That is the stay-at-home book tag. And this book tag was basically made to tell people, stay at home. Until next time, I'm John. This has been Written in Blood. Thank you for watching.